You're watching Griffon Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Easley and Ryan Menley.
Hello and welcome. Griffon basketball riding a wave of momentum this week, Brett Easley.
That's kind of fun, isn't it? That's after a perfect 4-0 showing last week, including a couple big wins over the rival Bearcats.
We'll begin with the men. They've won 3 out of 4 and are back to 500 on the season. Here's how they got there.
Wednesday takes us to Kearney, Nebraska. The Griffon men taking on Nebraska Kearney. The Lopers, formerly known as the Antelope, shave a syllable, save some time. Pick it up early first half. Griff starting strong. Adarius Fulton with a steal. He'll go coast to coast for the easy layup. Griff's with an early 4-point lead. Later, more turnovers by the Lopers. Calvin Ballque with the steal up ahead to Fulton, who gives it back to Ballque for the big jam. Griffin's by 2, but Kearney charges back. Final seconds of the half, Drew Sankey nails the 3 from the corner, gives the Lopers a 28-27 lead headed to the break. Halftime, free Brent Musburger. Second half, Griff's down as many as 7, but they find the 3-point touch. Fulton, the transition pull-up 3, all net. Next trip, good ball movement to DZ Markalovic. Got it. Griffs reclaim the lead up 55-53. Then Al Freeman Flowers takes over. He scored 7 straight for the Griffins down the stretch, finished with 12 points, 11 rebounds. Fulton led the way with 23 points, 7 steals. Griffs finished the game on a 30-11 run. They scored 34 points off turnovers, and they run away with a 75-64 victory. Fulton and Flowers, the big men on campus.
The coach said we need to be aggressive at the top a little bit with the guards, and it start with me being a leader and being a point guard. So I just tried to do my best, get some steals, stay aggressive, and try to feed off everybody else.
I was just trying, wanted to go out there and just, help rebound and, help my teammates, defensive rotations and things like that, and, just play basketball, because that's what, Coach Smith wants us to do. He, wants us to stop doing so much stinking and stuff like that and just go out there and just play basketball, and that's what we did.
Well, I think that's the biggest difference right now, and the biggest thing that I'm most pleased about, because last year we gave these games away.
Panoramic view of a full field house on Rivalry Saturday. Cedric Clinkscales and the Griffon men welcoming 24th ranked Northwest Missouri to town. The Griffins starting strong, up 17-9 early on, but Northwest answers with an 18-2 run of their own. They'd lead by as many as 7 in the first half, but the Griffins don't roll over, they just charge back. Al Freeman Flowers, watch the post move, spins baseline, tough angle. Griffs within 3 just before halftime. James Harris to DZ Markalovic, ring up the 3. Griffs go to the half, down 33-31. Second half, play of the year so far right here.
Mellon forced a turnover. Now James Harris lobs it up for Al Freeman Flowers, and a one-hand jam on
Flowers, 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting. Western up 46-43. The Griffins using patience, ball control, that equals execution. Harris, another great look, this time to Clinkscales. He had 7 points, 10 rebounds. Western by 11 with under 5 minutes to play. Northwest would cut it to 5 late, but Calvin Ballque drives home the dagger. He had 13 points off the bench. The Griffins had 4 players in double figures. They had Northwest its first MIAA loss of the season, 71-58 the final. The Griffins have won 3 of 4. This one, a big one.
Yeah, we're trying to find an identity. I don't think we still found it yet. We just wanted to come out, let everybody know that we're going to beat Northwest.
We've just been trying to come together as a team defensively and offensively. Our main goals for this game was to rebound, and we did an excellent job.
Well, we try to preach toughness, so that's why I say we was tough tonight.
The only thing I would say, Ryan, is there's no question that this team is getting better. I mean, I do think that. Now, are we out of the woods? No, not by a long shot, but certainly we're getting better.
Joining us now, head coach Tom Smith, feeling pretty good. I know you said Saturday that there's still work to do, but you are going in the right direction. That's got to be good to see.
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's always good to when you're in your final season to have your rival come in and be able to hold ground and win a game. Is it any more important than other games? Yeah, it is. I mean, I think we all recognize that there's a little bit of a rivalry there, and but in terms of the overall standings, it's another game, and the Kearney game counts the same as the Northwest game, so they all count. But I do think that we're moving in the right direction, and hopefully we can continue.
Let's talk about your defense. I know you said after the Missouri Southern game, you felt like the guards were doing a pretty good job out top, but you needed your backline guys to be a little bit better. Plus, you needed to be tougher. Last week you hold Kearney to 67, and on Saturday you hold an undefeated Northwest team to 58. Pretty good defensive performances, weren't they?
Well, decent. I think they were better. I think we're learning some things and making some adjustments that are better. You know, as we also know, you know, so much depends on the other team and how they're shooting the ball, whether they get into a rhythm. Southern got into a tremendous rhythm. We gave up 95 points. I mean, you weren't going to stop them. They were 15 for 24 from the three. The other two teams, you know, not the same. Northwest, I think, ends up 9 for 29. And you know, that's not going to affect you a whole lot. You know, we can live with that. But I think it's the teams that shoot it very well that are going to be tough for us. And I think we've got one coming in on Wednesday that's going to be a little bit better.
Well, let's talk about Lindenwood. 9-4 overall, just 2-3 in the league, though. So they're getting another new MIAA team. They're getting a dose of it, but a pretty good, solid team coached by former SLU coach Brad Soderberg.
No question. You know, it's a very well-coached team, and I jokingly said it, you know, at the media luncheon, you know, they're the best 2-3 team that we're playing, but they are really a good team. They operate against the zone as well as any team that we've seen on tape or anything else. So I don't think they're going to be surprised by the whole situation. Their 2-3 record's a little bit deceiving. They've played some very tough. They got beaten overtime, I think, at Northwest. Pitt State, one of the other top teams, beat them in double overtime. So. It's not like anyone's you know, blowing them out or being able to handle them easily. I think Lindenwood will be one of the better teams before it's over.
After Wednesday night, we've got to head back out on the road for the first of 3, and it's a rare Sunday afternoon matchup in White Auditorium against Emporia State, and kind of scary to look at them at 1-4 in the league, 6-7 overall. They're a better team than that, aren't they?
I think they are too, but and I don't keep, you know, beating a dead horse on this, but I think Emporia's schedule has gotten them a little bit. You know, they've been on the road and they played some very, very difficult teams. I think you're going to see them start to turn the corner a little bit. Although, you know, they're in a pod that can be pretty difficult too. When you have Northeastern State, Missouri Southern, and Pittsburgh all in the same pod, that's a pretty tough situation too, because you have to play those people home and home. So Emporia's schedule is not going to get a whole lot easier.
It's 2013, and we're talking about MIAA pods. Never thought we'd talk about that.
I agree. Hard to say.
Yeah. Let's get to your favorite part.
One thing that we will talk about, it's time for Easley's impromptu.
I hope I can answer some of these.
Yeah, please try to
Last year I was really good.
Please just try to avoid the answer no.
No, I know.
I don't think you can say that on any of these. Coach Smith, again, we're going to turn back the clock on some favorite memories. Do you have a favorite Western Northwest rivalry memory other than Saturday? Because that's the one that sticks in your head most recently.
We live in what have you done for me lately world, so Saturday's pretty big. I think the brawl that we had the first time we played Neil Hook. It was the first year we played him, and I looked out there and I forget who it was, and it's not really important, but you know, there was a punch thrown, and I started to run out on the floor and push people apart, and I thought, this is stupid.
You separated the entire 10 guys.
Neil Hook was in the middle of that?
No, Neil wasn't, but the other guys were, and I was like, you know, I am way too little to be out here trying to break up fights.
You played a lot of places around this league, and this can even go back to your Central Missouri days. Do you have a favorite place to play in this league other than the field house?
Washburn, without any question.
We'll be there on February 6th. That'll come soon enough. And finally, completely switching gears, you're an arts guy, you're a theater guy, you're a movie guy. What's the last movie you saw?
Les Mis. Les Mis Rob. Okay. I've seen it. I've seen the play twice and the movie and loved every bit of it.
Well,
there you go.
We'll just agree to disagree.
Let's see
on
some
that.
more art this week. What
That's
do you
head
say?
coach Tom Smith. They got Lindenwood on Wednesday, 7:30 in the field house. We'll see you then. We'll be right back.
I am your physical therapist. My job is to make you better. Go ahead, give me your worst injury. I can fix it. You can ignore that shoulder. You can go to someone else. Doesn't matter. To really get better, you gotta go through me. I'm Fred Schunkweiler, and this is Spine and Sport.
Welcome back. We switch gears now to women's hoops. Missouri Western's comeback season continues.
Yeah, you know, they like to make it exciting too. 11-3 overall, 2-0 last week. Let's rewind to last week.
Wednesday, welcome to Nebraska Kearney. Griffon women trying to wear down the Lady Lopers. This bench got a lot of work. Griffons went 13 deep in the first 8 minutes of the game. Lots of contributions. Jaquita Deaver, great look inside to Brittany Griswold for 2. Grizz had 5 points. Later, Denise White playing in just her 3rd game as a Griffon. Still getting settled in. Nice drive and basket. Then it's Cassie Sabaski getting in the act. Drains a 3, her first points as a Griffon. Western by 4 early. More variety. Callie Schoonover fakes out the defender, then hits Heather Howard down low. Too easy. She had 14 on the night. Griff's up 33-26 at the break. Second half, all Western all the time. Deaver picked that pocket so clean it was downright dirty. She scored 12 of her 14 points in the second half. Defense just clamped down from there. Western forced 30 turnovers on the night, and they run away with a 71-53 victory. The Griffons run their record to 10-3, 3-2 in the MIAA. 12 players cracked the box score for the Griffs in this, their biggest blowout win of the season.
But we got the game fast, and I thought that had a lot to do with Jaquita Deaver. I thought she was really good tonight in tempo and pushed the ball, and she made that game fast and got us some really easy baskets. And
defense turned up a lot. We were when we were trapped, we'll go to the next pass. We were just more alert.
Rivalry Saturday at the Fieldhouse featuring a new flavor. First-year coach Rob Edmondson and his 10-3 Griffons. First-year coach Mark Kellogg and his 8-4 Northwest Bearcats. These two teams trading baskets first half. Bear Bell open 3 from the corner, all net. She had 13 points. That ties it at 12. Bearcats answering though just before the half. Ashley Thayer, 3-ball from the other side. Northwest up 28-23 at the break. First 10 minutes of the second half, all Western. Casey Klauser off the inbounds, the drive, the hoop, the arm, the 3-point play. That'll tie it at 33. Later, Lanisha Lawrence to the rack, no good. Heather Howard cleans up the mess though. She had 16 points, 11 rebounds, part of a 24-12 Griffon run. They forced their normal 23 turnovers in the game. Jaquita Deaver so fast, just outruns everyone for the coast-to-coast layup off the steal. Western was up 9 with a minute to play, but Northwest charges back. This 3 makes it a 1-point game with 25 seconds remaining. 1.5 seconds to play now. The Bearcats down 2 on the free throw line. Ashley Nelson has to miss it intentionally. She does, but the refs call a lane violation. The Griffs get it back, and they survive for a 68-66 victory. Western runs the record to 11-3 overall, 4-2 in MIAA play. Big win over the big rival in a big-time atmosphere. Joining us now, head coach Rob Edmondson, the head coach of an 11-3 team, a 4-2 MIAA team. That's okay.
Not going to complain about that,
We'll take it. Not going to complain.
Talk about that atmosphere Saturday. That was big time. That's something that we hadn't seen in the first couple home games.
Yeah, I thought it was exciting, you know, just to look in all different directions and see bodies, not to see actual spaces and vacant spots. So I thought that was neat, and I thought the fans did a good job. I thought they, you know, had some emotion and had some intensity about the game. And of course the game itself brought that about a little bit. You know, it was a tight game and kids playing hard, and it was kind of chaotic at times. But it's nice to be in a game where, you know, kids can say, Coach, I can't hear you. And that's always a lot of fun. It's fun for our players too. Kids love having that kind of crowd.
Well, you played a lot of players, and you're probably going to continue to play a lot of players. You know what you're going to get from Heather Howard. After that, a lot of players have been up and down. One that's not, and just very consistent every night, Bear Bell. Talk about her play.
Yeah, Bears, you know what you're going to get with Bears. She's going to give you everything she has, and you know, she gets a lot done for her size, tremendous rebounder, keeps a lot of possessions alive. Sometimes doesn't get the rebound, but gets in there and gets her hand on it and tips it and keeps it alive. And just been very impressed with her consistency and that maturity she has. You know, when you're a 6-year player, you've been there, done that. You don't get too riled up, you don't get too emotional, you don't get too hyped and
She's
too low.
40 years old.
You know, yeah. I mean, you know, she just comes and does her thing, and she stabilizes us. It's great. My first year, I'm very fortunate to have a player like that in my first season here that can help us with that maturity.
Lindenwood Wednesday, 1-4 in the conference, 4-9 overall. Then Emporia State, the 2010 national champions, 2-3 in the league, 7-6 overall. Two kind of wounded animals you've got at home on Wednesday and then on the road on Sunday against Emporia. Talk about both those teams a little bit.
Well, I think they're both, just like any game in this conference, it's dangerous. And like you said, you know, you're seeing teams that, you know, Lindenwood had won a conference game and then all of a sudden pops up and beats UCO. You know, Emporia's struggling a little bit, but yet they've taken care of Hayes pretty easily on their home floor. So, and you're seeing it it's reflected in the records in the conference. The conference beating each other up. Other than Washburn, who's the only undefeated team left, there's still 8 teams within reach of second place and could still catch Washburn. If Washburn drops one game, all of a sudden they're back to the pack. So it's a league that right now is balanced enough that you're going to see a lot of strange scores.
It's time for Easley's tantalizing trio. We've really stepped up the questions this week. They're very good questions.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, they're very good questions this week. And again, this is kind of the get to know Rob Edmondson segment, just a skosh, just a little bit better. And by the way, our special is Surf and Turf for Market Price this week. So,
Surf and Turf?
Oh.
Yes, of course. I know how big a fan you are. Rob Edmondson, you've got an afternoon free, or there's no practice on a weekend. What's a hobby for you? What do you do away from this grind that is being a basketball coach?
Well, I have.
You take your yacht out on the weekend?
No, the yacht's put away for winter. I've winterized it.
Oh, God's sake.
What I'd like to do, I love to play poker. You know, other than that, if there's not basketball on, which I guess it can't be a hobby when that's your profession.
Well, I
Can you
guess
have
it
a
kinda
hobby
could,
be a
sure.
profession?
It can be.
Yeah.
That's called your life.
That's pretty much it. But I actually like to fish.
Who's your mentor in coaching? Completely switching
Wow.
up.
Well, I'd probably say Eddie Sutton.
Okay.
You know, just was very fortunate when I was down at Oklahoma State. I made a point of sitting in his practice every day, whether it be for 10 minutes or for 2 hours if I could get there the whole day. But I just love to go in and watch how he coached. Learned a lot from him. A lot of the defensive stuff I do is Coach Sutton basketball.
Finally, we're kind of all over the board today. I have a travel agent call you and say, Rob, you can go anywhere in the world you want to go.
Cabo San Lucas.
Nope. Okay, there you go. Favorite
Cabo San
vacation spot,
Lucas.
Cabo San Lucas.
Can't beat Cabo San Lucas.
You've been there before, I
I've been
assume.
to Cabo San Lucas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is poker good in Cabo San Lucas?
Everything's good in Cabo
Everything's
San
good.
Lucas.
Okay.
Well, let's hope some good basketball comes our
Thank
way
you.
again on Wednesday against Lindenwood.
Let's hope so.
That's Rob Edmondson. We'll be right back.
I am your physical therapist. My job is to crack the whip, push you. Got an ache? I've got the remedy. Muscles weak? I'll make you strong. Whatever it is, I will get you better. I'm Nikki Hilgenberg, and this is Spine and Sport.
It's not Valentine's Day around here yet, but you know you got to feature some Griffon lovebirds from time to time. Football defensive coordinator Reggie Trotter and head softball coach Jen Bagley rung in the new year with a wedding. The two tied the knot on New Year's Eve in St. Joseph. That's a good thing to see. And if you're wondering, Coach Bagley will still go by Coach Bagley, so no name change.
Glad you cleared that up, because I wondered.
Yeah, good
Congratulations
stuff.
to them.
Honeymoon's over, though. Time to get back to work.
Well, it is, and yet a different diamond is the new priority now. Griffon softball and baseball began official practices this week inside the Griffon Indoor Sports Complex. Boy, that's hard to believe. Both programs coming off great success in 2012. Baseball posted a 34-17 record, while softball went 42-13. No rebuilding. Most players on both teams are back, and now it's time to roll.
Excited. Definitely excited.
It feels really good. The break was short, but I mean, it's good to get back to baseball and get back to practice and see everybody else again.
This being a special group because we are veterans, and it's kind of nice because as we get going, there's not a lot of explaining we have to do. They've kind of been through it.
I don't get rah-rah excited for the first day of practice. If anything, I get crabby, to be honest, because I just think of everything that we want to accomplish, and it comes with hard work. And hard work doesn't seem like woo-woo, excited. Hard work seems like, okay, we've got to get after it.
Both squads open play in early February.
Meanwhile, more honors for Griffon football's super senior class of 2012. Former running back Michael Hill selected to play in the inaugural Raycom College Football All-Star Classic. Western's all-time leading rusher will play for the Stripe team, which is coached by Dan Reeves. The game is this Saturday in Montgomery, Alabama. Kickoff set for 2 p.m. Central Time. It'll be televised on the CBS Sports Network. And of course, former defensive end David Bass is in St. Petersburg, Florida right now, preparing for this Saturday's East-West Shrine game. That game kicks off at 3 p.m., televised on the NFL Network. After that, Bass, of course, will resume training for February's NFL Combine. Go Griffs. We'll be right back.
He once helped an unbalanced bull by teaching him ballet. He cured a man's foot with plantar fasciitis by playing Go Fish.
You have an 8. Go Fish.
He helped balance a man by playing darts with his eyes. He is the most helpful physical therapist in the world.
I don't always go to physical therapy, but when I do, I prefer Spine and Sport.
Stay healthy, my friends.
All right, we're here with Griffon basketball player Freeman Flowers to talk about myofascial injuries. Myofascia is the covering of muscles. And when when we pull a muscle, sometimes the fascia gets injured as well. So there's a lot of things that we do to treat fascia. Freeman here is demonstrating a foam roller, specifically right now. He's on his iliotibial band. Now we're going to turn him onto his hamstrings. He's going to just do a little bit of a turn. And this is a common injury for basketball players, to get hamstring strains. So the foam roll is just dense foam that he's rolling, and his body weight then helps smooth out that fascia. And so as we treat fascia, our goal is to stretch that out so the muscle can glide and slide better. Sometimes, however, that foam roll isn't enough. So plan B, sometimes we have to revert to instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. When the foam roller isn't enough, we take this stainless steel piece of a tool. We come over here, and here's Tevin from the basketball team. He's doing an exercise where those hamstrings have to eccentrically lengthen. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to massage that and try to separate that fascia away from those hamstrings. You actually have 4 different hamstrings, and instrument-assisted massage is not necessarily the most comfortable thing in the world, because we really dig into that, and we're trying to separate that fascia to allow that hamstring to glide, to contract, to shorten, to lengthen. That's going to help that hamstring be stronger. It's going to help rehab that injury completely. And when we have an injury, especially the hamstring, especially with athletes who have to jump and cut, it's important that we rehab it completely so that we don't have another injury.
The most helpful physical therapist in the world on breathing.
That's a deep subject. Deep breathing, that is. Stay healthy, my friends.
Welcome back. Finish with Roleplay the Griffon Way.
Definitely my favorite part of the show. What Chiefs personality?
Nobody.
What?
It's a PED themed Roleplay this week.
Good.
Okay, Brett, are you ready?
Yeah.
You are Lance Armstrong.
Woo.
You're going on Oprah to allegedly admit after all these years you're a cheater, that you doped. Why now?
Well, first of all, I've always wanted to be on Oprah. I can't ever get on the darn show, and I won all the cycling titles illegally. Hey, you know what? Can't beat them, join them. Everybody thinks I'm a cheat. I've lied through my teeth all these years. My nose is longer than Pinocchio. My goodness, why not come out now? I'm broke. Maybe somebody will sign me on as another sponsorship. Who knows? There's always something out there I can peddle, but hey, Live Strong. I still got a stadium named after me. My gear still looks good.
You don't work
why not
for Live
come
Strong
out?
anymore, though. You left that.
I've been fired. I'm trying to come back. Okay, Ryan Menley.
Yes.
Cowboy Economy. Boy, steroids are the theme today. Ryan, you are the steroid era ball players.
I am.
All of them. You kind of look like you're on steroids. The baseball writers shut you out of the Hall of Fame again. They shut everyone out for the first time since '96. No players. I mean, you gotta have a Hall of Fame class, don't you? Make your case.
You know, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, first year of eligibility. Sammy Sosa could have been a star-studded class, and it's nothing.
Cheats.
You know, it's touchy. I get it. Most of us have admitted we've done it. Are the records tarnished? I don't know. Because here's the thing. Everybody was doing it. Here's the problem I have. You got a guy, Craig Biggio, 3,000 career hits. Never been tied to steroids. Doesn't get in. That's a first bout of three. Since when is 3,000? But you know what it is? It's that era. The writers want to paint it with a broad stroke. Don't know if I necessarily agree with that because you don't have the concrete facts. These guys all need to be in. There needs to be an asterisk, but they all need to be in.
Instead of painting the steroid era, let's paint the Fieldhouse gold on Wednesday night. Big games for these teams. Every game gets a little bit bigger as we proceed along the conference schedule.
5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men. That's GSI for the week. As always.
Griffons.com for tickets. And as always, go Griffs.